Texas used to be one of the most popular cities to relocate to. It's 2023 and a lot of things have changed. So in this video, we're going to discuss the pros and cons of living in Plano, Texas, and we're going to figure out if it's still in the top 5 places that people want to live, work, and play. So stay tuned. If you're new to the channel, my name is Richard Soto, a local real estate broker with VIP Realty right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Make sure you hit that subscribe button as we do weekly videos discussing everything there is to know about living, working, and playing right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and throughout the state of Texas. Today we're in Plano and we're going to discuss the pros and cons of living in this fast-growing city in 2023. And if you watched any of my previous videos, you know I like my dessert first. So we're going to start with the pros, but don't worry, we keep it 100 on this channel, and we're definitely going to discuss the cons, and several new cons have arose over the last 2 years because Plano and North Texas has grown so fast. So let's get right into it, starting with the very first pro. Okay, before we cover the first pro, let's discuss a little bit about Plano, Texas. Plano is in Collin County, just north of downtown Dallas. To get to downtown, you're probably looking at about 20 miles, so it's not that far. Pretty much every drive throughout the Metroplex is going to be around 30 minutes, so it's somewhat convenient to downtown Dallas and the Love Field Airport. In addition to that, there's a population of nearly 300,000 people. The economy is strong. You have great education. It's safe. So there's a lot to love in regards to living right here in Plano. So those are just some quick stats, but let's start with the first pro. And one of my favorite pros in regards to living right here in Plano is going to be that it's great for families. As you know, if you watch my previous videos, I have 2 young boys, and being in an environment that's family friendly is extremely important to me. There is so much to do, and the city caters to families. Obviously, you can be single and reside in Plano, but I feel that it's specifically more so tailored to people with families such as myself. There's going to be a lot of parks, recreation, and as we'll discuss later in the video, exceptional public schools for the kids. There's shopping, entertainment, movies, pretty much everything that you want to do as a family without having to leave the city of Plano. In addition to that, Plano, Texas was ranked the 3rd best city to raise a family in America based on its great public schools, low crime rates, and family-friendly amenities. With 33% of households having children, there are plenty of outdoor activities for kids, including jungle gyms, splash parks, pools, and other kid-centered activities. Okay, let's move on to the second pro, sticking with the topic of families. If you have kids, you're going to love the fact that your children will most likely go to the Plano ISD or the Frisco ISD. Both of those districts are going to serve the Plano area, just depending on where you live. And I can assure you, the public independent school district in these cities are going to be exceptional. The 2 ISDs combined serve more than 100,000 students, which is absurd. That is a lot of kids. And nearly 200 schools, many of which, particularly in the Plano Independent School District, are highly rated. In fact, niche.com rated Plano ISD an A+, and is the 17th best school district in the state of Texas. Whether your children are toddlers or teenagers, there's plenty of options in the city for elementary, middle, and high schools. So guys, that's just going to be great. The fact that your children are going to go to an exceptional independent school district, you don't have to come out of pocket for private school. I assure you, there's numerous areas throughout the Metroplex that I personally would not feel comfortable sending my children to. However, the Plano ISD is definitely on my short list of exceptional schools. Okay, guys, I'm having a dang good time in Plano, Texas, as I usually do. Now let's keep it going to our next pro, and that is going to be diversity. I'm sitting here at Legacy West on a beautiful Friday afternoon. And before I get to a pro, let me tell you a con. I've literally been driving around for 20 minutes. What are these people doing? It's the middle of the day. It doesn't matter if it's on a side road. I went to 4 different parking garages. I had to park way at the top in between 2 very small compact parking spaces, and you know I drive a giant SUV, but it is what it is. But let's keep going to the pro, which is diversity. As I'm sitting here, there's people from all over the world that come and visit Plano, that reside in Plano. So you're going to hear numerous different languages being spoken, every color under the sun, red, purple, green, yellow, and orange can be found here in Plano, which is absolutely great. I love being around different cultures and learning things about people from around different parts of the world. So if you like diversity, you'll definitely like living here in Plano. As a matter of fact, bestneighborhoods.org rated it a 97 out of 100, which makes Plano much more diverse than most cities. In fact, according to walnethub.com, Plano ranks 46 in diversity, slightly higher than even the city of Dallas. An estimated 1 in 4 Plano residents were born in another country, which is awesome to see and experience. Okay, so we discussed that Plano's great for families. However, as an adult, we need things to do besides the nightlife, which we'll discuss in the cons. There's going to be numerous different places that you can go hang out, get a bottle of cab, enjoy a nice dinner and a night out with your significant other, whether it's Legacy West, the shops at Legacy. You can go do some shopping at the Willow Bend Mall. There's numerous parks throughout the city. So there's definitely a lot of things that you can do right here in the city of Plano. One of my favorite things that I love coming to Plano for is all the dining options. So if you love to go out to eat as much as I do, you're gonna spend a lot of time in Plano because you will never run out of restaurants to dine at. We're here at Legacy West and I'm trying to figure out where we're going for lunch. I've pretty much dined at every restaurant in this area, in this shopping center, at least 2 to 3 times. Probably my favorite spot or my go-to spot, especially for lunch, is Taverna. I go there quite a bit. We might end up going there for lunch again here shortly. However, there's a ton of different options. The Legacy Hall is a few steps away. It's more quick dining, beer on tap. It's not necessarily fine dining. Down the road as well is Fogo de Chao, which is definitely one of my favorite restaurants in the DFW Metroplex. So if you like to eat meat, if you enjoy steak, fillets as much as I do, definitely check out Fogo de Chao, especially if you're hungry. You can definitely sit there for a couple of hours and eat all the meat that you could possibly ever want. Okay guys, not only is there a lot of dining patios, places you can grab a drink, there's also going to be a lot of activities that you can do right here in Plano, such as the Crayola Experience, Plano's most colorful attraction at the shops at Willow Bend. Parent Magazine calls one of the top 10 trips to make before your kid turns 10. You can also visit Ape Zipline and Adventure Park, another fantastic attraction for kids. This outdoor park contains zip lines as well as other exhibits and play areas. You can also visit the downtown Plano Arts District. It may look historic because it is. Downtown Plano was recently added to the National Register of Historic Places. However, the area still boasts an urban dining scene and cool vibe with plenty to keep you busy. Okay, let's move on to the next pro, which is going to be, probably should have been the #1 thing on our list, and that's going to be crime and safety. Plano is going to be one of the safest places in the country, not only the DFW Metroplex or the state of Texas, but literally the country. So if you want to feel safe and secure, whether you're going for a morning jog or an evening stroll, you are going to feel safe here in the city of Plano. The crime stats are extremely low, and when you combine that with such a family-friendly city with exceptional schools, and then you add low crime, oh my goodness, what's not to love? Oh, but don't worry, we'll get to that soon. Let's cover some of the stats in regards to the crime rate right here in Plano. Plano, Texas is recognized as one of the safest communities in the United States, according to Wallet Hub's analysis of 180 major American cities. They've listed down the top 10 cities for safety in the U.S., Plano, Texas ranked number 3 for home and community safety, which is amazing. Plano's crime rate is 26% lower than the national average. Plano has 61% lower violent crime rate than the national average, and Plano is safer than 55% of other cities in the U.S. Those stats are absolutely amazing, especially when it comes to violent crime. Property crime and theft is pretty much on par, but violent crime especially is going to be much, much lower than the national average. So safety, security, definitely right here in the city of Plano. Okay, moving on to the next pro, and there's a lot of pros living right here in Plano. One of the biggest pros is going to be the economy, jobs. So if you want a great lifestyle with exceptional schools, great housing options, a safe and secure city to reside in, you're going to need employment. And right behind me is a suit store, which, as you already know, I typically don't dress up. However, I am in a need for a suit, so I might have to visit this store right behind me. They have some incredible suits right here on the mannequins. Hopefully I can make them look just as good. So let's keep discussing the jobs and economy. Plano is going to offer numerous big corporations and businesses that are headquartered right here in Plano. So if you're into customer service, accounting, marketing, whatever the case is, you can definitely find a job right here in Plano. You don't have to drive all the way to downtown Dallas or into Tarrant County, because there's going to be numerous employers right here within the city of Plano. Future job growth over the next 10 years is predicted to be around 45%, which is higher than the U.S. average of 33.5. Plano is home to many big corporations like JCPenney, Dr. Pepper, Frito-Lay, Capital One, Ericsson, Bank of America, Dell, Pepsi, Toyota, and Samsung, and many others. And with big name corporations like these, you don't have to travel for your job. Just left Legacy West, had a late lunch at Taverna, and once again, it hit the spot. If you're ever around the Plano area, definitely swing by Legacy West, hit up Taverna. The service is exceptional, the food is great, and the margaritas are perfecto. I love dining there at Taverna. Now let's move on to our next pro, which is going to be real estate options. So if you're a first-time home buyer looking for a home in the $200,000 price range, or maybe you're ready to build your dream mega mansion, you can do that right here in Plano. There's going to be numerous different options, whether you're looking to purchase or maybe you're looking to lease. There's also a lot of apartment rentals right here within the city as well. Maybe you want a high-rise condo. We just did a video tour of the Windrose right there at Legacy West, which is a great high-rise community with a ton of amenities, movie room, pool, everything you could ever want. Not to mention it's very walkable. You can just come down your condo, hit up Legacy West, dine at numerous restaurants, sit outside, have yourself a margarita, do some shopping, and then walk right back to your high-rise condominium. So in regards to real estate, you can definitely find every option under the sun right here in Plano. There are plenty of developed older neighborhoods as well as new construction opportunities to build your dream home. You will also find a number of master plan communities in Plano, complete with pools, tennis courts, playgrounds, and more. Plano consists of 27 neighborhoods. There are currently over 400 homes for sale, ranging from around $200,000 to well over $7 million. The median listing price is around $540,000. Plano also has affordable condos and townhomes. If you're not ready to buy, there are plenty of apartment complexes and rental homes as well. Okay, moving on to con, and that is going to be nightlife or the lack thereof. If you want to turn up, pop bottles, make it rain, as the kids like to say. You're not going to find that here in Plano because pretty much everything's going to close rather early. So if you want to party into all hours of the morning at a club or such type environment, it's not going to be in Plano. As we stated earlier, I love the fact that it's family friendly. So there are going to be numerous bars to have a nice bottle of cab on a patio on a beautiful spring day. However, if you're wanting to club some techno music, do a little salsa dancing, it ain't happening here in Plano. So nightlife is definitely a con. Okay, everyone, I had to take about a 4-hour intermission earlier this evening because I had to drive across town to Flower Mound. I seen 4 of my Billy basketball players play in their high school team. Then I drove back to Liberty High School right here in Frisco, which is still zoned to part of Plano as well. Watched 4 of my girls play with their high school teams this evening. So, guys, I'm exhausted just from watching the kids, but it's very, very fun. What a great community here in the Plano area. A lot of fans in the stands supporting their kids, even though they can't make a freaking layup or catch the ball half the time. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I was about to lose it, but I was a fan tonight, which was, I was going to say it was nice, but not really. It's very annoying. I prefer to be in charge when there's basketball going on. Anyway, one of the main cons that I dislike about Plano, and to me, that's the location. Earlier in the video, we said that to downtown, we're about 20 miles away, which isn't bad. However, if you travel a lot as much as I do for business, I fly into California frequently to our VIP Realty offices in California. We also like to go on vacation, head into Cancun and Mexico, Puerto Rico, wherever we can get some sun, especially like tonight in this Texas winter. It's actually 53, but the wind is blowing, so it's rather cool. And also, if you have to get into Tarrant County, into Fort Worth, it's going to be a haul. I love Collin County. I love Frisco, Plano, McKinney, Allen. All these areas up north are great, but the biggest con for me is the location. It's not convenient if you're trying to get into downtown, if you're trying to get to the airport, especially if you're trying to get into Tarrant County. So in my opinion, unless you work from home or within the Plano area, it's too far, especially for a real estate broker for myself. So number one con definitely is going to be location. Let's move on to the next con, and that's going to be weather. As I'm sitting outside of a school parking lot, I'm waiting on the kids to come out so I have some time to film, and I want to get this video done and wrapped up tonight because I started when I finished, guys. Anyway, next con is going to be the weather. One thing that if you watch any of my videos, you know I discuss frequently is the summer, July and August. It's brutally hot to the point that that's why we opened up our offices in California, because I love that Southern California weather, 365, especially in July and August. And the winters recently in the state of Texas have been actually pretty cold, more so than I can ever remember. I was born and raised right here in Dallas, lived in Texas my entire life, and I don't recall the weathers being this cold, snowing as much, icy, just, it's been strange to say the least during the winter time. So the climate is definitely changing here in Texas, and it's definitely getting colder, which I don't like that. I wish we could have sunny San Diego weather, but we don't. Main issue for me, the weather is definitely during the summer, which can get extremely, extremely hot. Also, Plano is a high tornado risk area, typically being subject to 3 a year, which 3 tornadoes a year sounds ridiculous. We do have tornadoes from time to time. Gosh, I guess maybe 3 years ago, is that when we had a tornado here? 3 or 2 years ago, and you know, it's not as frequent as people think, but tornadoes are definitely an issue here in Plano and can be, and they can also do some major damage. In addition to that, hail is a big issue right here in Plano, and hail actually does more damage than anything. So if your vehicle is not in a garage and it's hailing, and sometimes it's some huge golf-sized hail, it can definitely bust your windows out and put in massive dents and do damage to your home as well. So the weather sometimes can definitely be severe besides just the heat right here in Plano. Okay, as this pump keeps on pumping, we're going to our next con, and that is going to be the cost of living. If you're trying to be frugal, if you want to save some money, not happening in Plano. As a matter of fact, Plano is about 7% higher than the national average, so it's not significant. However, there are some less expensive areas throughout the Metroplex. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and hanging out with me today in Plano. It's been a 14-hour day yet again. Started earlier in the morning. It's late into the night. It's dinner time. and I don't know where we're going. Luckily, we're in Plano, where there's going to be numerous different restaurants. Guys, if you're thinking about moving to Plano, the DFW Metroplex, or throughout the state of Texas, my team and I at VIP Realty would love to assist you with your next real estate transaction. For now, I'll see you on the next video. That's a wrap.